Hi Earthlings, I'm Trice. Do you find it hard to ignore your current reality? Would you love to make it a little bit easier? I have 11 tips that make it super easy to ignore your current reality. And for an extra layer of fun, as you watch this, count how many that you have. And at the end, I'm gonna make a prediction. Now let's get started. Tip number 1 is a game changer if you can really get your mind around it. And it's the awareness that your current reality is true, but it's only one reality of the infinite possibilities that exist for you. And if it's not crystal clear for you, let me help you, because it's so much easier to see it on somebody else. Really, life is a series of choices, and all those choices open or close different doors. Over winter breaks, not a flattering story of me, I was having a little fight with my cousin. And I could see, because fights are no fun and they go down the path of destruction, how I was collapsing this beautiful possibility of playing this game that I invented with my nephew that I hardly ever get to see. And he was overjoyed and so excited about it. But I robbed him of that joy because we never got to play, because I was fighting with my cousin and all distraught. But understanding the fundamental truth of this, there's a zillions of true realities that exist for you, makes ignoring the one that I don't want to be a part of so much easier. And I realized, guys, ignoring it is the superpower of shifting away from it. If your attention doesn't go there, nothing can grow there. So if it's easy for you to see infinite possibilities, give yourself a check. Tip number 2, to make ignoring your current reality effortless. Boost your confidence. I was over at the ASMR psychologist, and she made this beautiful presentation of why confidence is so essential. If we have confidence, we can be brave and mine our gifts and show them to the world and live the life that we want, as opposed to when we're not feeling so confident and we just want to curl in a ball and hide our true selves from everyone. And so how do you get to be more confident? I found there's 2 very effective ways. The first one is just reprogram your subconscious mind by listening to positive affirmations when you go to sleep. I am a superhero. The second thing is I look over my life and I cherry pick events where there was an obstacle and Trice overcame it. What this selective selection of my life does for me is it instills the belief that I can rise and thrive under any challenge. And no matter what my wish is or how big I dare to dream, I've always got it. Isn't that true for you too? Would you give yourself a check mark? Do you have confidence in your corner? Tip number 3 to ignoring your current reality is to realize that everything is simply a matter of perspective. And if you don't like what you're seeing, shifting your perspective will change what you see. To give you a demonstration, take a look at this picture. You'll see one of 2 things, a young woman or an old woman. Pause for a second. Give yourself an opportunity to see how powerful this shift can be. If you see the young woman, look at the young woman's chin and think of it as a large nose, and look at the young woman's ear and think of it as an eye. If you see the old woman, look at the old woman's nose and think of it as the left cheek of a face looking away from you, and look at the old woman's eye and think of it as an ear on the face looking away from you. Did you see the switch? That is exactly what happens with anything in your reality. And I'm going to give you 2 real life examples from my life. Trice, was she the popular girl? No. No, she was not. Trice was the weird one, the oddball, and it did not feel so good. But that opportunity allowed me to grow and accept myself. And because of that, I really believe that my unique gifts have had the chance to shine through when if I was the popular one at a very young age, I might have been too afraid to do something outside the box for fear of getting pushed off my pedestal. Or we grew up very humbly. We didn't have a lot of greenbacks at all. And my cousins were upper middle class. They had $100 ski goggles and fancy ski gear. And one of my cousins actually told me this. You are so lucky that you grew up poor. And I had to agree. I said, I really think that is the source of all of my wealth. Every experience in your life is a matter of perspective. Even my own husband fired me. And because of that, I made $250,000 because I saw a new opportunity that was invisible to me because I was too busy working with him. So just like the painting, your life is not fixed. It is only a matter of perspective. And if you don't like what you're seeing, shift your perspective to see if you can see something else. And the easiest way is to look at the opposite. Like, for example, I'm totally dirt poor. How can that be an asset? It made me stronger and curious and more ambitious to make money. Or I'm not popular and people don't like me. I have the freedom to be true to myself because I don't have to worry about pleasing anybody. So if you have this one in spades, give yourself a big check. And remember to keep a tally because it's going to show you at the end of this video how easy or not so easy it is for you to ignore your current reality and how you could make it infinitely sweeter. Tip number 4, surrender. Does the word give you hives? That's how it used to make me feel. And even though it's something that I continually have to practice, years ago I heard this story which made me realize that surrendering is not giving up. It is opening the door to the possibility of getting what you want. And I'm going to retell that story to you, but forgive me because I have forgotten the names. I believe it came from the Art of War. There were 2 warriors and they both had armies. But this gentleman had been cut off from 90% of his army and was only surrounded by a handful of men. And his enemy was coming to get him. And he knew that he only had a handful of men. So what did he do? He surrendered to that moment. He said, this is what I got. He told the handful of men that he had with him to hide. And he went to the castle wall and sat on the edge of it and started playing an instrument. I think something like a flute. And all of a sudden, his enemy's coming down the line and he sees him sitting there on the wall. And what does he think? He thinks it's a trap. He's like, he must have reinforcements. There's no way he's just sitting up there playing the flute. But he didn't. He surrendered to what he had, and it shifted the perception of what really was there. It put doubt in the other person's mind, allowing a new possibility to unfold. And although that's much more dramatic probably than our everyday events, sometimes that's how it feels when we're trying to manifest something that is not visible to us. And so we keep pushing our will when really surrendering allows another door to open to the field of infinite possibilities. So ask yourself, how good are you at surrendering? If you're amazing, add another check. Tip number 5. This one's probably my favorite. I know I might have said that about some other ones, but if your reality is just pissing you off and you are so attached to it, take the attention off it by giving. Putting your attention on somebody else, and you don't have to give money. You can give people your time, your attention, your expertise. Even my son, he needs a little bit of help with his writing. So 15 minutes a day, I place my attention on making writing fun. Giving can be so simple and so rewarding and so easy to do. People give to me all this time on this YouTube channel in their comment section, just gushing with love, or responding to other people's comments when they have a question, taking surprise cupcakes to work. Anything that takes the attention off the fixation with your current reality will free you from being stuck there. And giving, it just feels so damn good that you automatically shift from that place to a place of abundance where magic can happen. So if you experience this, give yourself a check. Girl, has your hair ever been so static clean? Ah! If you played along with me this long, tally your results. How many check marks do you have? The maximum amount of checks so far are 5. Where's the other 6? It's in part 2, which will go live on February 23rd, 2020, or linked right here. But in case you miss it, here is the prediction. If you have over 6 check marks, my assumption is it's pretty easy for you to ignore your current reality. The less check marks you have, the harder it is to ignore that 3D pounding reality. And if that's you, I can think of nothing more valuable than harnessing more stuff on this list so you can manifest your dreams faster. Because as we know, the more attached we are to what we currently see, the more it keeps us in that spot. It's worth the effort. So if you're like, I have no energy to do that, pick the easiest one. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. And you have nothing to lose except for frustration and ickiness and only your dream life to gain. Now, if you like this video, would you do me a favor and just sprinkle some love on that like button because it helps me more than you know. And until next time, my darling Earthling, I kiss you and say ciao.